Hey guys, Joseph Henson here with Henson CPA Group. We've been going through a lot of things about cash flow lately, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about some emerging trends in the veterinarian clinics and small businesses for 2025. Again, I'm Joseph Henson with Henson CPA Group. I'm glad you guys are here today. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let's just go ahead and get started. So, one of the things that we want to talk about is how technology is changing how clinics operate. There's a lot of issues here. So, growth of telemedicine, a virtual vet visits for routine care and triage. We're seeing a lot more clinics that have started doing some virtual vet visits. Even some veterinarians are doing this on the side because, hey, this makes me a little extra cash. It helps me pay off my student loans, helps me be more financially stable. I get to put more into retirement accounts. It's something that we're seeing more of today. Advances in practice management software for scheduling, billing, and record keeping. This one's great. So you don't have to constantly have someone answering phones, take calls. You could have the ability nowadays to just have someone book directly on your calendar. You've blocked out times where, hey, we can't have too many overlaps here. This person can get here at 9 a.m., 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, or 9, 9:20, 9:40, 10, 20-minute increments, whatever it is you're trying to do. It's helping there. Scheduling for that, for billing purposes, reducing the amount of time it takes to receive your cash, and then even for record keeping. We're seeing a lot of folks who are using automation and AI that are helping with diagnostics, administrative tasks. They're using it to read x-rays. They're using it to do the note taking, the dictations in the room while they're seeing the patients. And it's really being extremely helpful and pretty cool to see how it's changing rapidly. So financial planning trends that I think folks should be watching. More clinics are using cash flow forecasting tools to manage volatility. Clinics are realizing that without paying attention to their cash flow and how that is forecasting, they don't have as much of a plan. So I've seen more folks even coming to me like, hey, I was trying to use this software, but it was saying I was going to have terrible months. I'm not really sure if I'm doing it right. What's going on? They're using data analytics to help identify high performing service lines. Gone are the days where folks don't realize that what they're working on isn't making them as much money as they think. With all the analytical tools out there, with your CPA firm, with your CFO, you can actually dive into what is making you money. There are things you're going to always have to do that don't make as much money. If you're doing just the typical yearly checkup, it won't make as much money as a surgery, but now you're learning how to price these, and you're learning maybe I don't want to add nail trimming and glands and everything else in there that don't make a lot of money. They're kind of not fun. They don't take a long time, but it's just added service that hinders me from there. Someone can go to a dog groomer for some of that. It's one of those things that people are starting to realize. And they're also realizing there are alternative financing options, including SBA loans and community funding. You don't have to go to a predatory lender nowadays that is charging you 30, 40, 50, 60, 100% interest over 5 years with early payoff penalties. You're able to find even community funding where it's direct from someone like, an individual like myself or like another clinic owner going to the clinic for temporary cash flow issues. It's going to be a little bit higher interest than what you can find at a bank normally, but it's something that if you are already struggling with cash, hey, banks aren't going to approve me. You pay a higher interest rate. They're a higher risk, but higher reward for those who are willing to lend there. Operational efficiency and staffing trends. This one is great. There's flexible staffing models and part-time schedules that are helping reduce overhead. Some people don't want to work full-time. Stay-at-home parents that are like, hey, I need something, but I also want a little more time with my kids, or my kids in daycare half-time or part-time, in the mornings. I'm happy to come in from 8 to noon. I can pick my kid up at 1. That is something that is very flexible. If you have administrative tasks, you can even do that remotely. If you have someone who just needs to start sending out the receivables or helping pay with bills or helping schedule folks, these are things that can happen remotely on a part-time basis, and it's helping tremendously. Emphasis on employee retention, better benefits, continuing education, more time off, which is a benefit. Pizza parties are great, except for the fact they don't always show that someone is appreciated. When you're able to retain an employee, you save yourself a ton of overhead and cost to train new ones. I want to say it's like 150% is the cost to hire someone new versus just keeping them there because you have to pay for onboarding, training, lost time for just even not having someone, lost revenue. It adds up. Use of technology to optimize appointment flow and reduce no shows. With the automations built around reminding folks with automated calls, text messages, emails, there is almost no reason you should have no shows. It's going to happen. People forget. I myself am guilty of this every now and then. I'm sure you have been too. You have an appointment that's coming up. You completely slip your mind because, hey, I've got a lot going on. And that's something that this helps with. I got a call yesterday because I have an appointment today as a dentist. Like, hey, just wanted to remind you that this is so-and-so at the dentist's office. You have an appointment tomorrow. That was it. It was just a quick automated call, reminding me of an appointment. I'm like, that's great. I also got a text message not long after that. Regulatory and compliance developments. There are a lot of anticipated changes in workplace safety and environment regulations. We're going to see a lot of changes over the next 12 to 18 months, I believe. And there has been also an increased focus on cybersecurity and data privacy for client records. We're seeing that a lot of fines have been threatened if you're not keeping things safe, especially if it has any identifying markers. Not as much of a deal with veterinarians, except for if you're keeping client credit cards on file, because of the fact that a lot of what you do is directly related to the pets, but it's still something we want to keep an eye on. And then there's what clinics need to do to stay compliant in 2025 and beyond. It gets to be a lot. With the OBBB, there's a lot of changes, even with taxes surrounding QBI, surrounding what is deductible, Section 179, 100% bonus depreciation. There's a lot in this. Marketing and client engagement trends, rise of digital marketing, social media, SEO, and online reviews. If you're on my email list, chances are you saw one of my ads on either Facebook or Instagram, maybe even Threads. I don't think I've gotten that one live yet, but it is something that social media is one of the largest drivers of revenue growth for a lot of industries. If you aren't advertising on social media, you're missing out. Even as a veterinarian, you need to do it. SEO, this is search engine optimization. This is going to surround your direct area. If you are in an area that is heavy with veterinarians, you need someone who is specialized in SEO that can help you get higher up on Google pages when someone's searching for veterinarians in my area. It's something that takes time. Anyone who's promising they can get you there within a month isn't telling the truth. I'm sorry, it's not possible for long term. There's a lot of backlinks that happen. There's a lot of money that goes into it. People need to be able to find you. That might mean changing how your format works, a lot of stuff. I'm not a web developer, but there is a lot that goes into this. Personalized client communication through email and apps. I've actually recently been told by my doctor that we're using this app now. All of our communication goes through here. If you have a question, you can email us through the app and we will get back to you typically within 1 to 2 hours. Sometimes it could be 24 if it's extremely busy. Obviously, if it's an emergency, call 911, call us directly, do what you need to. And then building loyalty through exceptional client experiences and follow-ups. We had to put our cat down not long ago, and we received several items, including a hand-signed card from everyone at the veterinarian office. Extremely touching. We were sad that it had to happen, but with old age, it was the most humane thing to do. But the touch points that our veterinarian in the clinic had there were exceptional, and we've been using them for a while, but it reinforced our idea that, hey, this is where we should be using for our dog. Sustainability and social responsibility. As a business owner, we do have some growing consumer demand for eco-friendly business practices. If you are in certain industries, even surrounding euthanasia with cremations, there's a lot of environmental factors that we have to know and understand. If you're in another industry other than veterinarians, companies or consumers love knowing that the companies they use are eco-friendly and that they're ethical. And then how veterinary clinics can incorporate sustainability, recycling, energy efficiency. There are still some tax credits right now that expire this year that are around energy efficiency and solar panels in general. There's some that expire next year for residential versus commercial stuff that if you're interested in, let me know. We can talk about it. And then the positive business impact of being socially responsible. If you're a socially responsible company and you give even monetarily or of your time, it is something people notice. We have a humane society here who several veterinarians in the area donate their time and expertise to, and they don't do it for likes on Facebook. They don't do it to drive business, but it does help them. People know, hey, this person actually cares about the community, and that makes it more desirable. And then what are we doing to prepare your clinic for the future? As a business owner, as a clinic owner, you need to develop a flexible business plan that can adapt to change. We're seeing a lot of growth in the AI industry with what is able to happen. I actually have a note taking app that is driven by AI. It will give me bulleted outlines on what needs to happen when. It says who's talker A, who's talker B, speaker A, speaker B, what's going on here, what was the most important parts of this. And if your plan in your industry doesn't adapt for these areas, if you're still using it in ways that hinder you in growth, you're not adapting and your business will struggle. And the importance of financial visibility through regular reporting and KPIs. Your financial statements, your balance sheet, your income statement or profit and loss statement, and your statement of cash flow are three of the most vital reports you as business owners should be using, utilizing, and studying. You don't have to understand everything. That's what we're here for. But we use those to actually drive KPIs to see what is your revenue growth, what is your retention, what is your cost of goods as a percentage of revenue. We want to know this. And one thing you need to be doing is partnering with experts like CPAs for strategic advice and growth planning. Throwing a dart at the wall and just hoping it sticks where you want doesn't always work. You need to have a plan on what you're going to be doing in the next 1 to 5 years because it changes and it has to be able to be adaptable. You want to work with people who understand that and they're on the same level as you with what your plans are. If you're not planning for growth of business and personal, you're also not doing it how you really need to. It's one of those things that a good CPA can help you with. So here's how Henson CPA Group supports growth. We go through financial analysis and benchmarking tailored for veterinary clinics. 90+% of our clientele are veterinarians. We love the veterinary industry because it's one of those areas that has the need that a lot of people don't seem to understand. Everyone wants to focus on the flashy folks, but they don't realize that veterinarians are some of the largest single contributors to the community. They're always the first people you call when there's a medical issue with your pet, or if you're a farm, they call the veterinarian. We are able to assist with technology integration and process improvements. We believe in utilizing AI where we can, not to reduce headcount, but to optimize the headcount, and then dedicated to helping you adapt and thrive in the evolving business environment. Especially this year with the changes that we've recently seen with the tax code, some extensions of credits, some doing away with credits, QBI, specified service trader business. There's a lot here. And we're staying on top of that to make sure that our clients understand what's happening and can better utilize that to reduce their taxable burden while also optimizing how their clinic is running. So if you have any questions, let's connect. You can find our website at hensoncpagroup.com. You can email me directly at hensoncpagroup.com. Follow us. My @ is Henson CPA Group or Joseph Henson CPA for any more sessions and tips that you would like. And we love hearing from you.